Play.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for joining Talking
Thank you for
Tennis
having me.
today. Thank you. First thing is just tell us about your win that you had yesterday in the singles.
Well, it was a tough win, definitely. A lot of challenges with the weather, changing conditions. So I think it was a great way to start off the clay season.
Cool. Talking of clay, where are we at with your game and your preference? Clay, grass, hard? What's your sort of preferred condition?
I prefer hard court. It's the one I grew up in, and I think my game naturally is more suited to that. But I've been, of course, I've been playing on clay for a long time as well. It's true that the clay season is shorter, much shorter than the hard season. But you know, I love clay, and I'm just, you know, trying to get it to love me back.
Good. You're going to be playing Udvardi next. Do you know much about her? And tell us what you're thinking ahead of that match.
I've seen her around quite often. I've never played her before, but I think that's adds to, you know, the excitement of the match. But, you know, trying to go in with the same mindset as the match before, trying to stick with my shots and trust my tennis.
Doubles with Katie today. Of course, you lost, but you beat her in Miami. Did you talk about that match at all?
No, we haven't. She did congratulate me on, you know, that whole week, and she's a great sportsman. I think she's super nice, and we get along well. So I really enjoyed that doubles, even though we couldn't end up taking the win. But it's fun with her. Yeah.
Yeah. How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that, you know, I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life, and I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was each such important moments in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What about this? World number one or Grand Slam, if you could choose one?
Grand Slam.
Okay.
Hands down.
Which one?
Wimbledon.
Okay. Nice.
But both. I mean, if I could, I would choose both. Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah. Okay. Have you heard about these comparisons maybe with Leylah Fernandez? I mean, obviously in terms of your game, you're both lefties. You both sometimes take the ball early. Are you familiar with these comparisons, and how do you feel about that?
No, I'm not really familiar with those comparisons, but I think Leylah's a great player. Obviously, she did the final in US Open a couple of years back, so she's a trailblazer in her own way. I think I'm not so close with her. We've had a couple of interactions, but she seems like a nice girl, so not mad about that comparison at all. She's a good player.
Have you got a favorite shot? If I'm going to give you a shot, and this is match point to win Wimbledon, what is it?
That's a good question. They asked me which one I prefer the other day, forehand and backhand. I was also kind of on the edge. I would say maybe a backhand cross court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cross court winner.
But yeah, I don't know. It really depends. There's so many things that can happen during the match. Depends on the opponent, the court. But yeah, I think that one has been there from the beginning. Like now, I definitely have a lot of weapons aside from that that I've been working on. But I feel like that backhand just came natural from the beginning. Yeah.
And have you ever dreamt, and then you fall to the grass, for example, at Wimbledon? Have you ever dreamt
I
about
think
that?
everybody's dreamt of that. Yeah, I have. So yes.
All right, I'm going to show you some pictures now, and I want you to tell me the first thing that kind of comes into your mind, or just some of your thoughts. So,
Oh, yeah, this was, I believe, in Florida,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. I won like the Little Mo Grand Slam. It was, you had to get that trophy. The trophy, as you can see, is bigger than I am.
yeah.
It was like the tallest trophy ever presented in junior tennis or something like that. That was a big thing. And we had to take it apart and ship it back home in a box. Yeah, so I bet that was difficult for my parents. But there's my brother as well. He competed also, and he was like 2 points away from winning that same trophy.
Oh,
Yeah, but such a happy memory in my young childhood. Yeah.
do you ever think about some of these moments when you're on the court? Do you ever think about your childhood? Do you ever think about something like this?
No, on the court, no, I don't think about it. Definitely comes to mind when I start reminiscing on my whole journey, on what I've achieved in the past month. But on the court, it doesn't pop
Cool.
into my head. Yeah.
Okay, Amazon Prime documentary, that's what this, because this is when I first became aware of you. What are your thoughts now, a few years later, on that?
I don't know. I think a lot of people got to know me through this documentary. So obviously a big privilege to be part of that. A lot of people will come, oh, are you the girl from Amazon Prime? Yes, that's me. So now hopefully I'll be known for more things than that.
For sure.
But this is it's so nice to have these memories and these moments captured on camera.
Yeah, cool. US Open junior title. I was there when you won
You
that.
were there?
Yes, I was. Yeah,
Okay.
just as a fan, but yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was such a precious moment. I feel it was so full of emotion, and yeah, I started crying, and I feel like, of course, Junior Grand Slam doesn't guarantee anything for the future, but it's a huge achievement, you know, and it's still a decoration, you know. I think just the word Grand Slam and to win it in those courts, I feel. Representing my country, it was a big deal. Yeah.
Cool. Actually, representing your country is something I want to speak to you about, because this image here is sort of also about being from the Philippines and being a professional tennis player. What does it mean?
Yeah. I feel like the biggest advantage of representing my country is the community, you know, and the pride that I'm able to bring when I do well to my people, and they come out, they support, they really make the effort. So I'm so appreciative. Yeah.
Cool. Next one is graduation from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Obviously, Iga and Rafa were there present. What did that mean to you when that happened?
I was super excited because every year I would see who was the celebrity guest or who was the guest speaker at each graduation. And I remember there was Roger, I think Pau Gasol was there one year, and I was so excited when it was Iga because she had just come off a slam win or something.
Yeah, I think the
Roland
French Open was the week
Garros,
before, because Rafa just lost to Novak, I remember.
Yeah, I remember, and no, it was super happy, and I think Iga told me that I remember that she said she'll see me around on tour, and I was like so excited, you know, and it happened. Yeah, it definitely happened.
She did see you around. This is after the win against Iga.
I know. I've watched that video so many times, and it's just so heartwarming. I really tried to just stay in the moment and remember everything, how it felt to be there. But funny story, like I can't really remember anymore. Like I can't really remember what I saw or that moment right after the ball went out. So, but
Do you remember how you were feeling or thinking on match point, or is it almost like you're watching just the video and you don't remember it?
no, yeah, I do. I remember. Yeah, I think I felt.
It was on the turn, right?
Yeah, normally when match point comes against these big players, you know, you're trying to get yourself to stop thinking about what would happen if you win, because, you know, but those thoughts didn't come to me at all during the match. I feel I was in a state of such focus that, you know, and I couldn't really believe it when I won. Yeah.
Cool. Then this went viral. This moment that you had afterwards, where obviously you'd lost to Jessica, but you know I was watching this on TV and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I mean, obviously, hopefully you can have more of this. But again, what do you remember about this few minutes after you'd lost to Jessica?
This was such a sweet moment for me. I'm definitely, let me tell you, I'm definitely not normally like this when I lose.
No.
But this was definitely a special circumstance. I remember the last couple of match points, I was able to save a match point, you know.
Yeah.
And I just tried to prolong the match as long as I could because I knew that this is where I wanted to be. And then after I sat down, after the handshake, I looked up and just so many flags of the Philippines and so many Filipinos. It was past midnight, they were there to stay, and I had just had the best run of my career so far. So there was so much to be happy about in that moment, yeah.
Cool. So that's that. Now, this is quite recently, I believe. I think this is after your run. But also I want to know about Rafa and the influence both his academy, but even Rafa as a player has had on you.
Well, I've been there since I was 13, so obviously deeply rooted with the academy. Rafa has been a role model, you know, someone to look up to for so long, and I think the values match the values that the academy instills matched with the values that my family had when they were raising me. So that's why they felt so comfortable to send me over there. And of course, you know, they have a part in a big part in my game. Yeah.
And Rafa the player?
Rafa the player.
Did you enjoy his career, or were you a fan?
Of course. I don't know who doesn't enjoy Rafa as a player. I remember I watched him one time in center court in French Open when I was young. So before even going to the academy, and it's crazy to see the intensity he has and the way he hits the ball. So much to look up to.
Cool. What about here in WATCH? What would it mean? I mean, you've not won a WTA title yet. You know, what would that mean potentially if you were to have a good week here, for example, and maybe even lift the trophy?
It would mean a lot. I think right now what I need is a lot of hours on court, a lot of hours playing at a level that, you know, a level that I'm happy with and a level that I know I'm capable of. So this is a tournament that will help me do that.
Cool. Last question. I'd like to know about some sort of future goals, maybe even just for 2025. Okay. Do you look at sort of things like, you know, obviously you're going to be in the Slam draw, you're going to be in the main draw now at the French Open. Perhaps that was a goal. But what about now? Because the goals never end, right?
Of course. No, of course. My original goal for 2025 was to finish in top 100 or at least to touch it. And now that I have touched it, it's a lot of new territory for me. So I'm trying to take it match by match, and I feel that's also why this tournament is important, because I'm coming off from such a good week, and I'm starting the clay season. So I give myself the space to figure it out, and then we'll see what my next set of goals are. I'm sure my team already has their own set of goals, but personally, I want to see how the situation unfolds.
But is winning a title, just a title of whether it be 125, 250, is that one of the next goals?
Yes, of course. You know, you always go into the tournament with the mindset that you can win it, and some tournaments maybe there's a lower chance of that happening, and some tournaments maybe there's a higher chance, but you'll always have a chance.
I do have one more actually. Did Miami surprise you? I mean, you said coming into a tournament, you know, you feel as though you have a good chance maybe of having a good run, but Did you expect the semi-finals there?
No, I did not. So yes, it did surprise me. I think Miami 1000 is WTA 1000 is one of the tournaments where I had the lower chance of holding the trophy, but I'm so proud that I was even able to come close, and the way I did it, I had such a tough draw.
I
So
know.
I had a tough draw.
I
I really
know.
had a tough draw.
I mean, you had Madison
I didn't
Keys as
even,
well.
yeah, I didn't even realize, because you just look at the first, you're trying to get through one obstacle at a time, and after I passed each one, I'm like, it's just getting harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was Madison, Iga, and Jessica, wasn't it? And then
Yeah, I had Yelena, I had
yeah,
Katie,
Yelena as well.
I had Madison, and then Badosa, who
Yeah,
unfortunately,
yes.
withdrew, and then Iga, and then Jessica.
It
And
was
then
just
if
grand.
I had won, it would
Yeah,
have been
Arena.
Arena. So, yeah, it's so funny to look back on. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to try to pass the ball.
Go. Sorry. Thank you, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
Alex Eala, okay? Of course, her run in Miami in particular has caught the tennis world in many respects by storm, and particularly because she's from a part of the world with a huge population and clearly a huge interest in tennis, albeit not a great pedigree in terms of Filipino players, making it. Her run also in Miami, shocked everyone. With every single win, it was like, oh my goodness me, she's beaten, Madison Keys, but she's not going to beat, of course, Iga Swiatek. And what does she do? She goes and beats Iga Swiatek. I think even before that, she played Ostapenko and beat Ostapenko too, and very, very close match with Pegula and the emotion there. She's now going to be playing in Madrid. Clay is certainly nowhere near her best surface, certainly compared to hard, as she actually told me last week in an interview. What did you make of her run in Miami and her as a player?
Yeah, I thought it was really fascinating. She uses her leftiness really well. When she went on that run, it was really impressive how she handled the big moments on the stadium court. What's interesting about her draw in Madrid is if she beats Tomova, who does she play second round? It would be Swiatek, who has that bye. So I love this in women's tennis right now, where you get like a compelling matchup, maybe a month after the first one, they could play again. But I also like how tennis, the last couple of decades, you get countries that wouldn't even be mentioned as a tennis country. You can hardly even remember a player from the Philippines. And then you all of a sudden get this talent. I like the story, the connection with Rafa Nadal and his academy. She's a lefty. A couple of times when she produced some forehands, I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
I see. It's tough to compare anybody's forehand to Nadal, but she's a great story.
She's a great story. I don't think that she'll probably have quite as many Roland Garroses in her locker as Rafa did come the end of her career, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing how she gets on. I have been made to eat my words many times regarding tennis predictions, but also regarding even Eala in Miami, with just thinking, okay, that was a great win, but I'm feeling the same in Madrid, just because I saw her on the clay last week in the WTA 125, and I just thought, okay, yeah, it's gonna be a few more years, I think, perhaps. But she's a quick learner and she's smart, and we'll see how that pans out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hello tennis fans, welcome back to Talking Tennis. Today we're previewing a fascinating quarterfinal match at the Sao Paulo Open, Alexandra Eala versus Janice Tjen, and it will be live on the channel, so do tune in for that. Meanwhile, we have two rising stars, great momentum and high stakes, but who will come out on top? Let's break down what to watch, what's at stake, and where this match could go. I'm John Silk. If you like these previews, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into the match. So, first up, Alexandra Eala, currently ranked 61 in the world, but her projected ranking at the end of this tournament will see her reach a career high of at least 55, but that will continue to rise the more matches she wins in Brazil. She's had a breakthrough season, of course, semi-final run at Miami, upset wins over some top players, runner-up in Eastbourne, and of course followed by her first WTA 125 title last week in Guadalajara. In Sao Paulo so far, she's been dominant. In the round of 32, she cruised through with a win over Yasmin Mansouri, 6-love, 6-2. She looked a bit leggy in that encounter. It was understandable, obviously, after her heroic run in Guadalajara, but now she has eased herself much more into the tournament. And in the round of 16, she won 6-1, 6-4 over Julia Riera. And so therefore, Alex has yet to drop a set and seems to be carrying good confidence. Obviously, she's now won 7 matches in a row following the US Open, the 5 in Guadalajara and the first 2 in Sao Paulo. As for Janice Tjen, she's currently ranked 130 as she seeks a top 100 breakthrough in the coming weeks. And she is one of the rising stars making waves this season. Her form has been excellent in smaller tournaments with several ITF finals, multiple wins, and strong service percentages. In this tournament, she's been ruthless, only dropping 1 game in her round of 16 match when she beat Oklava 6-1, 6-love. She also won her earlier match over Jean Jean in straight sets. This match, of course, is a quarterfinal at a WTA 250 event, outdoors on hard courts in Sao Paulo, Brazil. For Eala, this is her 3rd quarterfinal of the season. For Tjen, it's historic. She becomes the first Indonesian woman to reach a WTA quarterfinal since 2004. They've never met at the pro level, though. They played a few times as juniors. Eala won 2 of those junior meetings, so there's no recent head-to-head professional record between them. What does Eala bring to this encounter? Well, a solid all-round game, good movement, varies between baseline and aggression. She knows how to handle big moments. Her recent run shows that she can withstand the pressure. She also has momentum, the confidence from Guadalajara, and recent wins, including over, of course, Clara Towson at the US Open, and also had limited time on court in Sao Paulo, so she is in good rhythm. As for Tjen, she is clean hitting, especially when she's in her zone. Minimal unforced errors, strong service games in this tournament. Her 6-1, 6-love win in the previous round signals she can dominate when everything clicks. She also has resilience, not many lapses, composure. If she can keep 3 points low, so minimizing those unforced errors, and force Eala to earn everything, she has a chance. As for what could decide the outcome of this match, we have serve consistency, particularly with second serve. If Eala is broken early, she'll have to work hard, and she can be a bit vulnerable on serve, as we know. Tjen's ability to press on return games could disrupt Eala's rhythm. Handling pressure moments, of course, will also be important. Break points, tight games, maybe a tie break, maybe more. Eala has had more experience in these high-pressure moments, so maybe Alex would be expected to come out on top. As far as physical and mental endurance, can Tjen maintain her sharpness over long rallies, or will fatigue momentum perhaps favor Eala? We'll see. I would actually suggest that Tjen hasn't had a huge amount of time on court, and nor has Eala this week at least. So I don't necessarily think it will be a factor unless it goes really long, and then the backdrop of the Guadalajara run for Eala may come into play in a negative sense. My prediction is that Alex Eala will win this encounter in 3 sets. I do see Tjen pushing hard, especially in the early games, maybe taking a set, but Eala's greater tour level experience, momentum, and ability to raise her game in the clutch moments do give her an edge. Do keep an eye out for Chen's first serve percentage. If she gets many free points, she could trouble Alex. Do keep an eye out for Eala's backhand side and the ability to control rallies. Tjen is maybe slightly less confident on the backhand and will be keen to exploit the runaround forehand, but that may leave her vulnerable as well in the open court. Momentum swings, who handles the second set pressure, could also be a decisive factor, and also, of course, if it does go to a third. Of course, fatigue may be an issue, but maybe nerves, especially on Chen's side in terms of the fact that she hasn't really been in too many high-pressurized environments deep in 250 tournaments and above. So that's your preview. Big match, high stakes, 2 rising stars with a lot to prove. Great deal of interest, of course, coming from a part of the world that doesn't necessarily have too many great stars, especially in the modern game. So Eala and Tjen not only will be to look out for this week in Sao Paulo, but also in the weeks, months, and even years to come. Questions, of course, will it be the more experienced Eala or the surging Tjen who ends up taking the spoils? Leave your prediction in the comments. Who do you think wins and in how many sets? If you like this breakdown, of course, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on both future previews, future Alex Eala and Janice Tjen content, but also the wider tennis world as a whole, and of course, the live watch along, which will be coming up on this channel. Thanks for watching, and catch you at the Sao Paulo Open. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Hello tennis fans, welcome back to Talking Tennis. Today we're previewing a fascinating quarterfinal match at the Sao Paulo Open, Alexandra Eala versus Janice Tjen, and it will be
Ready. Play.
Hello tennis fans, welcome back to Talking Tennis. Today we're previewing a fascinating quarterfinal match at the Sao Paulo Open, Alexandra Eala versus Janice Tjen, and it will be live on the channel, so do tune in for that. Meanwhile, we have 2 rising stars, great momentum and high stakes, but who will come out on top? Let's break down what to watch, what's at stake, and where this match could go. I'm John Silk. If you like these previews, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into the match. So, first up, Alexandra Eala, currently ranked 61 in the world, but her projected ranking at the end of this tournament will see her reach a career high of at least 55, but that will continue to rise the more matches she wins in Brazil. She's had a breakthrough season, of course, semi-final run at Miami, upset wins over some top players, runner-up in Eastbourne, and of course followed by her first WTA 125 title last week in Guadalajara. In Sao Paulo so far, she's been dominant. In the round of 32, she cruised through with a win over Yasmin Mansouri, 6-love, 6-2. She looked a bit leggy in that encounter, was Understandable, obviously, after her heroic run in Guadalajara, but now she has eased herself much more into the tournament. And in the round of 16, she won 6-1, 6-4 over Julia Riera. And so, therefore, Alex has yet to drop a set and seems to be carrying good confidence. Obviously, she's now won 7 matches in a row following the US Open, the 5 in Guadalajara and the first 2 in Sao Paulo. As for Janice Tjen, she's currently ranked 130 as she seeks a top 100 breakthrough in the coming weeks. And she is one of the rising stars making waves this season. Her form has been excellent in smaller tournaments with several ITF finals, multiple wins, and strong service percentages. In this tournament, she's been ruthless, only dropping 1 game in her round of 16 match when she beat Oklava 6-1, 6-love. She also won her earlier match over Jean in straight sets. This match, of course, is a quarterfinal at a WTA 250 event, outdoors on hard courts in Sao Paulo, Brazil. For Eala, this is her 3rd quarterfinal of the season. For Tjen, it's historic. She becomes the first Indonesian woman to reach a WTA quarterfinal since 2004. They've never met at the pro level, though they played a few times as juniors. Eala won 2 of those junior meetings, so there's no recent head-to-head professional record between them. What does Eala bring to this encounter? Well, a solid all-round game, good movement, varies between baseline and aggression. She knows how to handle big moments. Her recent run shows that she can withstand the pressure. She also has momentum, the confidence from Guadalajara, and recent wins, including over, of course, Clara Towson at the US Open, and also had limited time on court in Sao Paulo, so she is in good rhythm. As for Tjen, she is clean hitting, especially when she's in her zone. Minimal unforced errors, strong service games in this tournament. Her 6-1, 6-love win in the previous round signals she can dominate when everything clicks. She also has resilience, not many lapses, composure. If she can keep 3 points low, so minimizing those unforced errors, and force Eala to earn everything, she has a chance. As for what could decide the outcome of this match, we have serve consistency, particularly with second serve. If Eala is broken early, she'll have to work hard, and she can be a bit vulnerable on serve, as we know. Tjen's ability to press on return games could disrupt Eala's rhythm. Handling pressure moments, of course, will also be important. Break points, tight games, maybe a tie break, maybe more. Eala has had more experience in these high-pressure moments, so maybe Alex would be expected to come out on top. As far as physical and mental endurance, can Tjen maintain her sharpness over long rallies, or will fatigue momentum perhaps favor Eala? We'll see. I would actually suggest that Tjen hasn't had a huge amount of time on court, and nor has Eala this week at least. So I don't necessarily think it will be a factor unless it goes really long, and then the backdrop of the Guadalajara run for Eala may come into play in a negative sense. My prediction is that Alex Eala will win this encounter in 3 sets. I do see Tjen pushing hard, especially in the early games, maybe taking a set, but Eala's greater tour level experience, momentum, and ability to raise her game in the clutch moments do give her an edge. Do keep an eye out for Tjen's first serve percentage. If she gets many free points, she could trouble Alex. Do keep an eye out for Eala's backhand side and the ability to control rallies. Tjen is maybe slightly less confident on the backhand and will be keen to exploit the runaround forehand, but that may leave her vulnerable as well in the open court. Momentum swings, who handles the second set pressure, could also be a decisive factor, and also, of course, if it does go to a third. Of course, fatigue may be an issue, but maybe nerves, especially on Tjen's side in terms of the fact that she hasn't really been in too many high-pressurized environments deep in 250 tournaments and above. So that's your preview. Big match, high stakes, 2 rising stars with a lot to prove. Great deal of interest, of course, coming from a part of the world that doesn't necessarily have too many great stars, especially in the modern game. So Eala and Tjen not only will be to look out for this week in Sao Paulo, but also in the weeks, months, and even years to come. Questions, of course, will it be the more experienced Eala or the surging Tjen who ends up taking the spoils? Leave your prediction in the comments. Who do you think wins and in how many sets? If you like this breakdown, of course, give us the thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on both future previews, future Alex Eala and Janice Tjen content, but also the wider tennis world as a whole, and of course, the live watch along, which will be coming up on this channel. Thanks for watching, and catch you at the Sao Paulo Open. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
And I'm a friend of the show.
I am Francisca George and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Oh, we're good to go? Yeah. Hold on, everyone. Yeah, we got some music playing in the background here. And here we are. All right, beautiful. So hello, everyone. Welcome in. Today we are here for a great matchup. Hopefully a very highly contested encounter between Alex Eala and Janice Tjen. Obviously, a special matchup here. Two players who have been, one, making a lot of noise, but two, this is a meeting of two players from Southeast Asia nations, which makes it a much bigger deal in that community. Thank you, Jake. And it's a good start from Eala. She holds to 15 to make it a 1-love lead. And it's a pretty packed day, packed action of tennis. We got the Davis Cup going on all across the world. Super exciting weekend. So I'll also be giving you updates from there. But it's been a good week in the WTA. 2 tournaments going on and a bunch of 125Ks as well. So tennis keeps on pushing. Janice Tjen to serve. Eala hits a wicked angle backhand on the return, which takes Tjen pretty much off the court, not able to keep that forehand in play. What we know about Tjen, used the slice very effectively, is a righty. So she'll be looking to weather that Eala forehand. But I think good news for Eala is she has the ability to generate her own pace off of both wings, particularly the backhand side. Definitely hits it cross court a lot. I feel like as she begins the match and then opens up that opportunity to go down the line. With Tjen, you got to be careful of the forehand. It's been wicked as of late. So that'll be what Eala's harping in on. She does have a love 30 lead here in this second game. Once again, it's a good backhand to set up the point. Cross-court exchange. Tjen used the first slice. Eala hits a wicked angle forehand. Even better slice from Tjen. Even more angle from Eala. Right now it's the forehand doing all the damage, and she's going to generate a loose forehand error to give herself 3 early break points. After a let, it is now the second serve. And it's the early Eala break. She got her work done early in that game, and it paid dividends for her. So let's see if she can get off and running. So far, so good from Eala. Takes the first 7 of 8 points, or rather 8 of 9. And you already see the early motion there from Tjen. Already looking to run around like a slider on the deuce court. That time forehand into the net. But we'll see how much of a burden it is on return. As we know, there's a lot of power behind that forehand from Tjen. That time Eala throwing the change up on the ad court. And it's a loose backhand error. So far, you're seeing what Eala can do to unbalance you early. Hasn't been straightforward. You know the power that Tjen possesses, so it's kind of like a lot of players trying to adjust to the Eala serve, different variety she offers. Today already hitting the beautiful hook lefty forehand. And that time, Tjen's able to hit a beautiful short forehand angle for a winner. That time, Eala using a beautiful slider. Again, getting Tjen off the court. So far from Eala on serve. Going more T, obviously, on the deuce side. Already using so much variety. Like, curious to see how she uses it off the slice, right? Talk about how much power she possesses off the backhand, but the forehand is a little bit, yeah, maybe a little bit more marginal, I would say. You're going to get 70% of her forehands going in the cross court, but I think once she grows in the match, she believes in the flattening out of the forehand and does a good job there to get the hold. So 3-love early lead for Eala. In Sao Paulo, Brazil. Definitely interesting this week. You had a lot of the Mexican players actually go and play in Sao Paulo. It's interesting given that Guadalajara a 500 event as opposed to Sao Paulo a 250 event. Very interesting, Jake. Yeah, I mean, it's the professional side of things is no joke. These athletes are all obviously amazing players, but it's all about doing the little details to get that edge. Anything you can find. The sport is so tight on the margins. Right now, I'm also keeping an eye on Botic versus Cerundolo. Cerundolo took the first set in a tiebreak. He is looking at an early break point. And then I'm looking at Dino Prishmit and Corentin Moutet going at it on the clay. With Moutet taking the first set 6-4 right now. He is serving to stay in the set at 4-5, and it's deuce. They've been having quite a battle. And it's Tjen to go. And another early start for Eala. That time going inside in on the forehand return. Deuce court. Good serve up the tee for Tjen. That time Tien unleashes on the forehand. But Eala, incredible pickup. Puts it in the backhand corner, and Tien ran around it instead of hitting the backhand. So 30 all on the Tien serve. That time a forehand line is able to produce an Eala error. That time Tien, showing off her ground game. Actually not using the slice. And Mute gets a huge hold for 5 all. You expect this to be a tough game for Prismic. But game point here for Tien, trying to hold for 1-3. Oh, and that time Eala has a sitter backhand. Puts it into the net, gives Tien the hold. So both players on the board now, heading into this 5th game. Quarterfinal in Sao Paulo. 2 players from Southeast Asian nations. Eala is definitely a hero. Let's see. She's putting together quite a little run. Makes it probably 7 or 8 wins in a row. Good return there from Tien. Backhand fired into the Eala forehand. Gosh, Jake, I did. I didn't look much into it. I saw that he said he literally thinks he broke his wrist. Would love any sort of update, hopefully positive. So y'all in a little bit of a hole here. 15-30. And now doubles. So it brings up 2 break points for Tien. There, Tjen using the slice, just casually hanging this rally. Understand that she doesn't need to overplay. Pressure's not on her, and the Eala backhand goes into the net. So Tjen gets the break back, and now we'll go to the sit down back on serve. Eala leads 3-2. Little update in the Davis Cup. We got Fran Cerundolo taking on Botic Van de Sancho. He is up an early break, 30-all on serve. And as I mentioned, Mute versus Prizmic. Mute had a legacy hold for 5-all, and now Prizmic is facing 2 break points at 15-40, 5-all. Beautifully saved by Prizmic. Jake, I mean, I'd read articles, long ones. That's a different story. I'm fairly active on Twitter. If someone does post something, I'll definitely click on it if I'm interested. I'm not reading many of ATP Tour updates, to be honest. I wish I was writing more of those, to be honest, but yes, The Athletic. I think that's got to be the best site in the sports world. Very trusted. I would definitely be interested in reading a lot more of those articles. So Tjen to serve at 2-3 in the first set. Quarterfinal of Sao Paulo 250 event. Early double fault. It's Alex Eala who comes in here on an extreme win streak. I'd actually like to check what win number we are on for Team Eala. She took the title last week at the 125K in Guadalajara. That was 5 wins, and she has 2 wins thus far, so a 7-match win streak. Trying to make it 8 here. Get herself back in a semi. Tjen, beautiful job. On the 15-all point. Goes back behind Eala. Tjen cruising through this service gate makes it 40-15. Not good enough on return from Eala here. Looked like that ball was definitely long. Y'all thought so, but kind of still swung at it in case. Ends up going off the paint. So 3-all. I was watching a net court in the Argentina Netherlands match. So it's Cerundolo who takes a double break in the second, 4-1, and Prismic and Mute, of course, in a huge deuce battle because why not? Probably the slowest track of clay I've ever seen in my life, but that's also, I think, recency bias, given it's been the hard court swing for quite some time. There, of course, are challengers on the dirt. Good return there from Tjen. So 15 all. That time, y'all at least has Tjen moving extremely heavily to run around that serve. She does miss a wide serve long, but Tjen showing exactly where she is. And that time, Yala goes back to the wide one. It's on the deuce side. Tjen stays home, definitely leaning, but misses the forehand long. So 30-15. Y'all, first a little motion in the match. Big serve, gets a free point, gives the fist bump. So 40-15. Producer will be away for a little while, so you're stuck with me. And that forehand from Tjen goes long, so y'all holds, and it is 4-3. I got you guys here again, so it's another break point for Mute. Quite a highly contested battle. I mean, two guys who are fairly feisty in Prismic and Mute. The lefty to the rock solid Prismic backhand. Such a good matchup, especially on the clay. These guys are making each other work for it. It's really impressive. Prismic saves another break point. All right, guys, so back on court in Sao Paulo. We got Tjen to serve at 3-4. 25 minutes into the set, Yellow was up 3-love. Gave up the break, back to 3-all. And it's Yala to get on the board first in this game. I'd like to get a temperature update in Sao Paulo. As it is just past 1:30 local time. And WTA giving Krishich all he can handle. That time saves a game point. So back to deuce. And the Eala return comes off the frame there. One of the better exchanges of the match thus far. Y'all playing some decent defense, but it's Tjen who comes out on top there. So 40-15 Tjen. That time doing a good job moving on the forehand. Eala wasn't, she was kind of in defense mode there and just kind of did a flick. This time a beautiful job. Eala going with the lob moonball return on the backhand side there. And Tjen does a great job to flatten this ball out inside out forehand. And Eala's there as Tjen creeps in. Wasn't very convincing from Tjen coming to the net. First time we've seen her come to the net today. But Eala is super ready, easy to hit that hook forehand right into the feet of Tjen. Here she comes up to the net again. That time a beautiful slice to take Eala off the court and hits a convincing drive volley into the open court and holds for 4-all. So this time it's Tjen who gets the early look in this game. Just a little while up the forehand wing for Eala. I think that's kind of like the hard part about the Eala game, trying to handle pace on that wing. There it is, the beautiful inside-out forehand from the middle of the court. Just doing a good job opening up the angle from the serve. Hits it very confidently. I mean, that's her bread and butter. That time, got a shorter ball in return, but it's kind of staying low. Almost chose to go down the line there into the net. And Tjen's got herself 2 break points. And saves the first one. Both players staring at this Tjen forehand as it's sailing down the line. And it was curling into the court, but Eala is hanging out over on the due side watching it. So saves one. Second serve, definitely the slowest serve in the match. Y'all guess is right. Gives a lob to Tien, but she puts it away and gets the break. So Tien will serve for the set at 5-4. And Davis Cup news, Argentina takes a 2-0 lead against the Netherlands as Frans Rundelo takes down Botic van de Zandschulp 7-6, 6-1. Anthony, I cannot give you any comments on that. If a betting partner wants to sponsor Talking Tennis, you know where to find us. But Mute and Prismic in a battle. Of course, some more pressure on the server. Mute at 15-30. Now it looks like 15-40. So it'll be 2 set points for Team Croatia and Dino Prismic. Dino. So Tien to serve for the first set. Gets a free point there. And I'm in shock as Mute hits a slap forehand winner down the line. It had my attention, but it's Eala who does well enough on an overhead. It makes it 15 all. Good return here from Eala to get herself in the point, but just overcooks the forehand. Far too much angle. And it's a double fault from Tien. So 30 all. Good wide serve here from Tien. Opens up the court. It's a swinging volley to the open court and then puts an overhead away. So it brings up set point for Janice Tjen. Good return from Eala. And ends up tying up Tien there, pretty tight to the baseline. Not able to handle that pace. Wow. All right. Second serve, Eala way inside the baseline here. See if she leans a bit. It's the slider. And maybe she was leaning T a bit. Because there was like a hop step in and she was late. Back into the net, trying to take it cross court with a wicked angle. So it's the second point, and Janice Tjen takes it. So it's Janice Tjen who takes the first set 6-4 in 40 minutes. She was down 3-love. Got it back to 3-all, and then found the break at 4-all to take the first set. Felt like an interesting set. There were some important points. Not a lot of long exchanges. As you can see, very, very tight in the stats in terms of winners, unforced errors. Tien getting more winners just because she got to the net a little bit better. Being a little bit more aggressive. Wow. Davis Cup news. Prismic ends up taking the second set 7-5 between Croatia and France. Simply Sam. Hey, how are you? Thanks for reaching out and thanks for the kind words. Yeah, so like I mentioned, I didn't think that was a very straightforward set. Y'all started hot. I think it was more due to unforced errors and getting a little bit more out of her serve to start the match. And then that's kind of been the thing with y'all is like when opponents are warming up to kind of her pace of play, kind of getting their timing down. That's when I feel like y'all can get exposed. And, definitely gambles a lot on second serves. That's a tough part for me is where a lot of times, going big or going home in a sense. And that cost her there, I think, on that 30-all point. And it's Tjen who does hit a clean winner to start the second set. So it's 11-15. And that backhand sails long. Jake, I don't know. It feels that way a bit, obviously, having lost various games, and obviously the 3-level lead. Many more unforced errors here. This is probably the biggest point of the match for her, serving at 15-30 to start this set. And gets a Tjen loose error. It was just an easy backhand slice. Gets into the net. And it's another loose error from Janice Tjen, so brings up 40-30. This time it's Tjen who's showing off, one, the movement, but two, the forehand. Doing a lot of damage. Running inside out, running inside in. And this time runs around a backhand and hits almost a jumping inside in forehand for a winner. I mean, just ridiculous. Amazing first serve. Somehow Tjen's return lands on the line. But it's incredible get from Eala. So she gets the ad. So brings up another game point here. So Tjen comes to the net, and it's an easy pass for Eala. So she does hold. We'll get a Davis Cup update for everyone. Yeah. Right now, a big surprise is Humad lost a tiebreak to Yankee Arel playing Turkey. Tjen looking a little bit more lively, kind of in all departments, but right now the forehand, she's really, really searching to hit it. And it's Prismic and Mute to get back underway. Tjen really making a statement to get to the net. Cost her a few points, but just letting Eala know that she's there. She's going to keep being aggressive. Puts a little bit more pressure. S&P. Welcome in. How are you today? Y'all takes that return almost like a saber. That time she's like halfway in between the service line and the baseline. Tries to flatten out that backhand. Didn't really go for any sort of spot. Went directly at Tjen, but it does go a bit long. Jake, thanks for joining us. Have a good rest of your day. So it makes it 40-15. Tjen here. S&P, are you referring to her serve overall or serve today? And not that I'm reading too much into it, but y'all looking tired. Obviously, that first set kind of gets stolen from you. But like I said, now 7-game win streak. Been playing for quite some time. And it's Tjen showing off the forehand here. Oh, what a beautiful shot. Really hits the clean inside out forehand. So these are the important points for Tjen. Don't want to lose this break early. Get down mentally, physically. Does a good job wrong footing Tjen on the serve. And then Tjen almost. This is what can happen. Like you think about tennis as a sport. Like Tjen's been coming to the net a lot. I would say more in the last 10 to 12 points, and that time kind of got a short ball. Ends up going kind of heavy topspin inside out, and on a ball that she's been coming in on after. This time she retreats back to the baseline. Yala throws up a lob that goes long. So that's just kind of the mental component that can come into play. So Yala love 30. Hasn't hit the forehand that hard in a while. The last two forehands have been good. Tjen on the defense. This time a slice, so it's going to be backhand. Drop shot from Yala. It's not that good. And Tjen almost, it's a beautiful half volley right back at Ayala's feet as she came in off the drop shot and wasn't able to redirect it into the feet of Ayala. So it's 3 break points for Janice Tjen. First serve just long. And it's a clean winner for Janice Tjen. So she takes a 2-1 lead in the second. And I will be back in just 90 seconds.
Ready. Play.
Hello, tennis fans. Welcome back to Talking Tennis. Today, we're previewing a fascinating quarterfinal match at the Sao Paulo Open. Alexandra Eala versus Janice Tjen, and it will be live on the channel, so do tune in for that. Meanwhile, we have two rising stars, great momentum and high stakes, but who will come out on top? Let's break down what to watch, what's at stake, and where this match could go. I'm John Silk. If you like these previews, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into the match. So, first up, Alexandra Eala, currently ranked 61 in the world, but her projected ranking at the end of this tournament will see her reach a career high of at least 55, but that will continue to rise the more matches she wins in Brazil. She's had a breakthrough season, of course, semi-final run at Miami, upset wins over some top players, runner-up in Eastbourne, and of course followed by her first WTA 125 title last week in Guadalajara. In Sao Paulo so far, she's been dominant. In the round of 32, she cruised through with a win over Yasmin Mansouri, 6-love, 6-2. She looked a bit leggy in that encounter, was understandable, obviously, after her heroic run in Guadalajara, but now she has eased herself.
All right, we are back. Y'all looking a little bit more energized in this baseline exchange. Obviously, you think every point now is big, momentum, confidence, down a set and a break. But the longest exchange of the match goes to Alex Eala. Not hit the Janice Tjen slice goes long. She hasn't hit the slice that well today, to be honest. Yeah, looking a little bit more lively this game. I think so, S&P. But Tien does hit an ace. First, maybe second of the match. Crucial time, of course. Yeah, you also got to think about the legs, too. Tien makes a 30 all. Yes. Chen did make the main draw at the U.S. Open. She beat Ao Ito, I believe, in the qualification final. Oh, and that time does a beautiful job to open up the court off that serve and hits a +1 into the open court to bring up game point. Double fault for Tjen. So plenty of life here for Eala. So Eala has a chance to break back. Good kicker from Tjen to open up the court, and then goes backhand down the line. Follows it up with an easy put away forehand, so saves the break point. Back to deuce. Beautiful backhand from Eala. Goes up the line, follows it with a cross court, gives herself another look. And she puts the return into the net, so back to deuce. Tjen's serving is, I think, good. I think it's got some pace to it. Hits the slider pretty well. Hits the kicker on the ad side really well. And as I say that, hits a slider for an ace. So game point, Tjen. And Tjen gets to the net, finishes the volley, and holds for 3-1. So it's up to Eala to put the pressure back on Tjen, do her job. Getting a quick hold would help that. And Tjen wins an extended rally with the help of the net cord, but it really is beautiful to watch her movement, especially in the backhand wing, the way she's able to dance around these backhands, and done a good job mixing it up this match in terms of going inside in, inside out. So it's really hard for Eala to predict. That time already on the move to the open court, but Tjen goes back behind. Yeah, huge hold for Tjen. And now y'all in a hole herself, 1530 here. And a double fault makes it 1540. So you can see a little bit of a deflated look in her face as she was going to the towel after that 1-all game. You know, just have to think about the last 10, 12 days. You know, really pushing yourself, able to raise that title in Guadalajara. And now it's Tjen who just absolutely fires a forehand winner to the open court, gets the double break, and makes it 4-1 in the second set. And Davis update. It's Mute who gets the early break, and he is working for a double break. Really, really battling. Martin Fucsovic down a set but up a break against Lucas Neumeier. Molkan and Meja on serve in the second. Molkan won the first 6-4. And Hamad Miljotovic, he dropped that first set in a tiebreak. But right now, has 2 looks to break in the second at 3-all. It's Janice Tjen to serve at 4-1. And takes the first point. Return is long. And it's Tjen who's just dictating play from the back of the court. Really using the forehand effectively today. And I watch Corentin Moutet get a double break up in the third set against Dino Prismic. France taking on Croatia. So Janice Tjen, she does hold for 5-1. But if you want a crazy story, I'll tell it. Alex Eala, U.S. Open round 1, taking on Clara Towson. And she was in this exact position. Rather, it was the third set. Not the second. Comes down from 5-1. Ends up winning a thrilling deciding set tiebreak. But first point goes the way of Chen. And it doesn't seem like there's just a lot left in the tank. And not that I'd say that's the biggest theme of this match. But you do have to think. 16 games played. She's only won, 2 of the last 13. It's obviously concerning, but 1-5, 3-all here. And the Chen backhand slice brings up a Eala error. So it is match point for Janice Tjen. And she goes for glory there. Runs around a slider. Tries to hit a winner inside out forehand, but does not keep it in play. And it is a second match point. That's the biggest talking point coming into this match is, Janice Tjen, obviously consistency, a little bit variety off the backhand wing, but it's the forehand that does the most damage, and it's been clear today. But also was able to hit the marginal shots she needed to in those kind of, clutcher, tighter moments. Early second set, but she does get it done. Janice Tjen takes down Alex Eala 6-4, 6-1. Eala did lead this match 3-love. It was quickly back to 3-all. And then Chen got the break at 4-all and really never looked back from there. Felt like a little bit of the gas tank on empty for Eala. Obviously had a busy 10 days, winning the 125K in Guadalajara last week, and here she was able to get 3 matches in, make it to the quarterfinal of a 250 event in Sao Paulo. But it goes the way of Janice Tjen, who is making waves on the WTA Tour. That's it for me. I want to thank everyone for joining. And we will be back with you likely the next time Alex Eala is on court. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of the tennis today. I will see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.